going on, everybody? Wanted to say something real quick. At a certain point, when do you want better players? One of the posts that I sent yesterday was a show where I titled it, "Do you want to win or do you want to just win?" Don't you want the best out of a player? Like at a certain point, we look at all the other players in the NBA, and just like I posted an article that I wrote in regards to the fact that y'all really fighting for Dennis? Like he's the best player in the NBA. Like y'all really was fighting hands and nails. And at a certain point, you gotta just look at it at the only thing that matters is there are people better than him. There are people better than Bazemore and whoever else. When you have a player that at the end of the day they're underperforming as opposed to other players, when is enough enough? If a player can't help you win, when is enough that you're fighting for him still? That, excuse me, that all of a sudden the player that's scoring 11 points a game, all of a sudden is going to score 19 points a game. Like at a certain point, it's not going to happen. And to keep believing that it's going to change is folly. Going old school a little bit with that one, right? But come on, let's get real. It's not about blaming a player. It's just about pointing out the fact that at the end of the day, that player can't help us win. There are players better than somebody. So that's why I get a little bit baffled when it comes down to you want to replace somebody who's getting you 26 and 10, but you don't want to replace somebody giving you 11. And I'm sorry, an inconsequential 10 rebounds. Again, rebounds are not defense. Stopping the shot from going in is defense. Stopping the shot from even being attempted is defense. Just like Torian Prince said, you put your hands in the air and you catch the ball, you bring it down, and that's a rebound. That's as a result of a missed shot. Let's stop the shots. You see what I'm saying? And just basketball. You got somebody who's getting 5 offensive rebounds in a game and they still are at 11 points a game. There's no way you can legitimize that and say that's cool. Why do y'all keep wanting to say that? Some of y'all. Okay, I'm not going to crowd all y'all into that. But why would you say that? Because when I play basketball and I get an offensive rebound, the first thing I hear, if I do anything other than going back up, is Chris, you're right there, go back up. You see what I'm saying? Now, with me, because I'm always double teamed, it's harder for me to try to go back up. And because we don't have refs, me getting fouled don't mean the same thing as in the NBA and I'm going to the free throw line. Playing street ball, there ain't no such thing as that. So if I'm getting double teamed and I'm able to get a rebound, but I know I don't have no shot, I am passing it back out to reset the offense or to get it back to me so I have a better position to actually score. And I'm also not trying to get hurt because I'm not getting paid to play. I ain't trying to jump up and then come down on a couple of people's ankles and then I can't work no more. But you're an NBA player getting 5 offensive rebounds a game, and you have your 11 points based off of lobs, basically, that are getting passed to you, because you can't hit no free throws, you can't hit no jumpers, and you can't finish at the basket. I'm sorry. Clint should be getting 18, 19 points every game. And he misses shots given to him by Trey. He misses putbacks. Those points count. 21 games the Hawks lost last year, 7 points or less. Those shots count. The year before, those shots count. 21 games? What was our record at the end of this year? Those shots missed counted, y'all. He's a starter, and he's a starter in the middle. We need it more. Because it'd be different if he was, I don't know, he's getting 3 blocks a game, 3+ blocks a game. Because now he's affecting the game on that level. You're getting 3 blocks. You're deterring people from taking other shots as well, like Wemby, right? And if he wasn't giving layups in the lane, see, that makes things a little bit different, but that's not what happens. If you're not going to help on offense, you got to be really, really, really good at defense. And he's not a good defensive post player on the bigs that he plays most of the time. And then he just gives up layups to everybody else. Guards, shooting guards, small forwards, everybody just getting layups. Our points in the paint are crazy. And he's the guy. At least he's supposed to be. So at a certain point, why are you arguing that we can't get better, we shouldn't get better in the middle by either having somebody in the middle who can finish all their shots and actually hit a 10-foot jumper and their free throws, and or somebody who can get you 3-4 blocks a game, stop people from shooting, make people pass the ball out because you can't get to your spot. I'm just saying. Okay? We can do better than Hunter. 15 points a game ain't cutting it. We need MPJ numbers. We need 19, 20 points a game. We need 6, 7 rebounds out of him. We need 2 steals a night out of him. We need a block plus a game out of him at the small forward position and lockdown defense. First, second team, all defense. Why don't y'all want that? I need someone to tell me, Chris, we don't want somebody who's on first or second team all NBA on defense. We don't want somebody to get us 21 points a game. We don't want that, Chris. We want what we got. It ain't it. When you see other players doing it, either you're really good on defense or you're really good on offense, or if you are good at both. We need one of those 2 things. We need it. We're not good enough. Again, we did nothing in the offseason for the 2023 season to do anything to get better from the 500 team we had before getting to the play-in. Why are all these people coming in? Why are y'all driving like this? Y'all got some nerve, boy, I tell you. So I just wanted to do this video real quick. It's not about blaming anybody. It's about pointing out the fact that we need better. Do we want to win? Or are we just going to be satisfied with where we're at? We got 2 players on our squad that can average 20 points a game plus. That's 40 points a game. And then we got 1 player who's giving you another 10 to 12 assists. He's responsible by himself for, what's that? On the low end, 35 points a night. 1 player. And then you got your shooting guard who gets you 20. And then that's where it stops as far as your threats go. We need more. As I said, the Hawks have 9 players that have people scoring 6 points or less. That's not enough compared to the rest of the league. I counted that out on my Twitter page. I know a lot of y'all don't use it. Well, on Intellect ATL, I posted it. Here's some teams compared to the Hawks. You got teams that have 9 players that score 9 points or more. Or like the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics have 9 players on the roster that scored 6 points or less. But they also have players on their team. You got 3 who scored 20 points a game. 2 and 3 that scored like 12 points or more a game. They're just deeper. And then you also have your players that always are rebounding, always playing defense. They're top 5 in defense and offense. You got enough people doing their jobs, and the Hawks don't. Pure and simple. And again, I always point to it. Our points in the paint, second chance points, and fast break points, and 3-point percentage given up shows that. One player doesn't do all that on their own, giving that up. One player can't give up 60 points in the paint. One player can't give up 20 points, second chance points. One player can't give up 20 fast break points. And I showed video on the Twitter page, Intellect ATL, once again. I showed y'all video of the 73 points that the Hawks gave up against Luka. And who was guarding them? Who was giving up all those points? And on the show the other night that I did, Accomplishments Matter, I pointed out that last game that we played against the Chicago Bulls, here's what actually happened in that game as far as who gave up what shots. Here's what actually happened. Why aren't you mad at everybody who's given up 60% shooting to all the players on the Bulls? Why aren't you at all mad at all those players? DJ, Clint, Bogey, Bruno, Wes, Hunter. But y'all mad at one person who only gave up 42% shots that night. Not 62%. It's a big difference. Why aren't y'all mad at any of those people? We need stoppers. We've been needing it. Because again, if you can't coach it, you need the guys who already know how to do it. And if Hunter can't do it, we need someone better than Hunter to play defense. Or we need somebody better than Hunter to give us 19, 20 points a game. Not just 15 or less. Because he gets 15 or less a whole lot more than he gets 15 or more. The numbers bear that out. And I'm going to go over that pretty soon, game by game, to show y'all what actually happened game by game. Here's the actual truth of the matter, rather than what you say in your head. Just say it out loud and hope it sticks. It's not about blaming a player. It's about we need more. We have less talent than we did last year. That's why we were worse this year. But I'm going to say it one more time and then I got to go. Turn the air down just a little bit now. It's hot out here today. You didn't replace John Collins. Whatever you think about John Collins' production was taken away. That's his offensive production and his defensive production. It was removed. His finishing at the basket, the whole 9 yards. He wasn't going to have a similar season twice in a row. This truck almost really ran into me. I'm on the far end of the parking lot, and all these people are just rolling up just out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on. But if somebody hits me, we're fighting. So you lost John Collins' production. JJ and Bay started this year, didn't they? They were off the bench last year, though. Okay? So you lost their production from a year ago, and you didn't replace it. Last year, Bay was like 11, 12 points a game off the bench. JJ was what all he does off the bench. You lost that, and it went to the starting lineup, and it was not replaced. We had to keep Trent, the no-shoot Trent. We had, for 55-plus games, 3 players that were averaging 7 points or less a game between 3 roster spots. That's not better. Look at the Magic. Look at the Cavs. Look at all these different teams, and you look at their production, and you compare it to the Hawks, and we're just not a better team. Structure matters. Production matters. Accomplishments matter. And if all we had to do, if we're going to do the whole stagger thing and all this blah, 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 you got 2 players averaging 20 points a game. We needed at least one more bona fide that could do that. And then the defensive players. And we have been straight. Because, again, scoring has never been a problem for the Hawks. For 6 seasons, it hasn't been a problem. Stopping people has. We don't know how to switch. We keep over-helping. We don't block out. We can't get back on defense. We still don't know how to run zone defense. Can't do it. One player can't play defense against 12 people. The players that are getting 30, 40, 50, 60 points on the Hawks, Trey ain't defending none of them. Why are you never mad against Hunter and DJ? They're the wings. That's their job. Why is DJ at 119 defensive rating this year? Tied with Trey. On Hunter, for that matter. But y'all not mad at them giving up all the points that they give up each night. People blowing by them. People blowing by them, getting layups. I showed the footage of Luka and all of his layups. He walking up the court, nobody's stopping the ball. He ain't even posting up, he's just getting layups and jumpers and stuff. JJ was on him. Who else was on him? They put Wes on him sometimes for some reason. They got Bogey on him. That was just a disaster. And on switches, of course, you got just people just won't come up and just let them hit threes. We never doubled them. I think we trapped them like one time. In the 73 points, because I did every bucket and posted the video of it, courtesy of NBA.com. The Hawks let him on January 26th get 73 points. It's crazy. But y'all don't blame everybody else, but you still want to try to attribute that to Trey? That's crazy, because Trey wasn't guarding them. The only way you would have an argument that Trey is the destructive force on defense, because that's what you keep saying, is his defense that's causing all these losses, is if the guy that Trey is a primary defender on is dropping 30 each night. It doesn't happen. It's not happening. Not on any kind of level to make it a worry. Sorry, that's just the truth. It's just the truth. That's the truth. You look at all the points that every other player is giving up compared to what Trey is giving up, and that's who you should be mad at. All those layups, again, on the defensive side of the ball. If Clint gave up 6 less buckets each night, Hawks have 10 more wins. Easy. Because we've lost 21 games by 7 points or less. Let's stop some shots. But since we don't play no defense, we need to score more. The Hawks scored 118 points a game. The Pacers, who don't play no defense, scores 123 points a game. So like I said in my post the other day on my video, that matters. It's not about blaming anybody. It's about pointing out that we need to be better at certain positions as compared to the rest of the league. For crying out loud, we did nothing in the offseason. We did nothing at the trade deadline. We didn't use our mid-level exception, which we had 10, 11, whatever $million to get another player. We didn't do anything buying out contracts. P.J. Washington was available. Gafford was available. There were bodies out there all season long, and we did nothing. Oh, we got Dylan, Chris. Dylan. We got him. The whole season based off of him. He contributed enough to make it worthwhile. He was the best we could do. He was the best we can do. That's my point. What are we even talking about here? The person in charge, the person who got us all the money, said he's willing to spend the money. Whatever has to happen to make the team competitive, he's willing to do that. And he's never done it. All of his activity has been the opposite of that. Because otherwise we would have better players. We would have more players. But we've settled, and we have a group of players that can't score 6 points or more a game. Can't do it. I have the statistical figures to prove it. All you gotta do is look. All you gotta do is read. You can count. Depth matters. We rolled the dice that Hunter was going to be healthy again this year. He still hasn't played 70 games in the season. I'm repeating everything I just said the other day, but I gotta say it because it upsets me to say, oh, well, you're blaming. No, I'm not blaming. I'm just pointing it out. We needed more. Hunter has the capability to do more, and he doesn't do it. We need him be a lockdown defender all the time. He was drafted 4th. We gave up stuff to get to 4th to pick him. He hasn't delivered. He doesn't steal the ball at all. 0.3. He doesn't block any shots at all. He ain't weak. He ain't small. He ain't short. He got wingspan. He was the defensive player of the year in college. Basketball, all of it. Not just the ACC. Y'all don't care about that? The Hawks hadn't had a defensive player of the year since Dikembe Mutombo. Last time we had anybody, first, second team was Mookie. For crying out loud. What are we talking about? Why don't y'all want better? Because we can have better. We got one of the best point guards, hands down, in the NBA. Pretty good guard in DJ. And then you got JJ. We're missing stuff there, y'all, compared to other teams. We don't have a center of note. We don't have a small forward that's dominant in either or. And at a certain point, sometimes it's not even about being dominant, but just being consistent and being relied on that no matter what, we're going to get 19, 20 points a game out of that player. We can't get it out of him. We can't. And now we're going to move him to the bench, supposedly, because he feels more comfortable going to the bench? My God, what are we talking about? And I said last year, that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do to make us deeper, but we got to replace him with somebody really good. So we either are moving JJ to the 3 and have Hunter come off the bench, and then we get a 4. My whole thing was we should have kept John because John was hurt last year. He wasn't going to be hurt 2 years in a row. We could have had JJ and John in the lineup together, finishing at the rim, getting buckets. Both of them can shoot. And Hunter coming off the bench with Bogey. That right there makes us a completely different team. We either scoring more or we're defending better. Because you got JJ and John in there. Also blocking some shots. Getting some boards. Being a deterrent. Then all of a sudden, Clint being in the middle don't hurt you as much. We chose not to do that. We chose not to do anything on top of that. We doubled down and said, we don't need no talent. We got Trent, and we got Garrison, we got West. We ain't going to play Patty. We're going to have him the whole season, not even play him, going to get him away. We ain't play Bruno all season. Not going to give him no minutes to help him get better. And then Bay went down. What did we do? Nothing again. Oh, let's put the whole season on Vitt. Then you didn't even let Vitt play in the play-in. And then didn't play Trent. You double down again. Just worthlessness. So, again, it's not about blaming Clint. It's pointing out that we need better than Clint. Why do you want to keep Clint on? You want to give him another contract, huh? That's what it sounds like to me. When he still can't hit a jumper, he can't hit free throws, he can't finish at the basket. His numbers tell you that. His numbers tell you he can't guard the post. He ain't stopping nobody. That matters in the playoffs. Hunter, not stopping nobody. Giving up layups. And then you can't rely on him on the offensive side of the ball. His 15 points a game would mean something coming off the bench all the time. But as a starter, we need him at 19, 20 points a game. He has a jumper that's efficient. He can shoot 8 for 12 all the time. 8 for 10. He's done it before. He had a 20-point game a couple months ago. He was 8 for 10. Boom, there he is. Because he can hit free throws. He can get to the basket. He don't need 20 shots. He don't need 20 shots. But he's always at 15 or less. And lots of times less. You give you 15, 18, 19, and all of a sudden he's at 7, 8, 9. What kind of crap is that? That don't do us no good. And Dominique's always trying to make him the X factor and everything. He had to stop saying that. JJ's the X factor now. We did nothing to make the team better from one year to another. And you got one of the dominant point guards in all historical context, and we won't build around him, but we watch the Pacers get anybody Halliburton could use to get the ball to him. All the jump shooters, all the people who finish at the basket, people who actually go to the basket. If you move and cut, Trey will get you the ball, but we don't move and cut, and Trey still gets 10 assists a game despite that. It's the craziest thing of all time. If we had a center that actually dive to the basket and finish, Trey would have 3 or 4 more assists every night. Or a center who can also hit a jumper. Pocket jumper. Why are we asking a lot? You're in the NBA getting $20 million a year and you can't hit a 10-foot jumper? You should never be allowed in the NBA. I swear to God, you shouldn't. You 6'10" and you can't hit a layup? You have no touch at the basket? You don't know flick of the wrist? My God. I'm sorry I had to say it like this, but it makes me mad because I've been playing basketball for 40 years. And you got to play. Set a screen. Get a rebound. Block out. Block a shot. Get a steal. Run the court. We can't do the basics at a high level. We need better players. That's it. If we keep DJ and Trey, I wouldn't be mad at that if we got the other players. We could be a dominant team if we were better at small forward and better at center. That's just point blank. And then better on the bench. We have no bench. We got Bogey 17 off the bench. If we put Hunter there permanently, that's another 15 or so. After that, we got nothing. That's scary. We're getting nothing out the power forward position, nothing out the center position, nothing out of the point guard position. Now, I guess Kobe's going to be that guy, I guess, at this point, maybe, if they let him. But again, if they stagger, that won't happen either. Again, it's a wasted pick. I said that. I was like, if we're still staggering, why are we drafting Kobe Buffkin? Why? It's a waste of time. Unless you're actually going to let him be the point guard coming off the bench. So you have Kobe, Bogey, Hunter, whoever at power forward, whoever at center, off the bench. I don't think we should keep Bey. Again, Bey is another person who can't play no defense. He gets some rebounds, but he can't stop nobody. He don't have the feet. Layups, jumpers. He ain't that guy. You put him on the bench, I guess you make him a small power forward. Okay, that gives you a little bit of something. That gives you the buckets. Again, if we can't stop nobody, we got to outscore people. If we were scoring 123 points a game last season, Hawks win an extra 12 games. Why? Because we lost 21 games by 7 points or less. We couldn't play the defense. We needed to score more. We couldn't rely on DJ. We couldn't rely on Hunter. Couldn't rely on Clint. Trey's job is to pass the ball and hit shots. He does his job. He ain't the reason on defense that we lose games. Not to nowhere near the extent that y'all want him to be that person. It's the other players around him who won't stop their guys. Trey's job was never to be Trey's job was not to be Gary Payton. Sorry. What are we talking about? Y'all want Ish Smith? He plays a little bit better defense, I guess. Right? But y'all, none of y'all, again, I'm saying this again, y'all ain't getting mad about all these other guys who don't play no defense, but you laud them, but they don't play no defense at all ever. Jason Kidd, I just listened on ESPN radio. Jason Kidd just said how Kyrie, definitely not known for his defense, but this series, he's been playing better defense than I've ever seen before. Kyrie has never played no defense. Nobody's mad at Kyrie for not playing defense, ever. He makes shots. Trey passes the ball. Y'all mad at him for doing that. If Trey stopped passing the ball, Trey would average 40 points a night. If all he did was concentrate on just shooting the ball, never passing, because remember, half of his passes are missed shots. Think about that. The amount of time he passes the ball to get 10 assists a night should be 15 assists, 16 assists a night, easily. But if he just cut all that out and just said, bump that, I'm going to just shoot, he'd average 40 points a night, because now he ain't concentrating on getting anybody else involved, not caring about running an offense. He don't care about that no more. If he just did that, goodness, it'd be ugly. He'd just go 40 points a night. I want our team to be better because the owner is going to spend the money to be better. The general manager actually knows what he's doing. Why do we got 2 assistant general managers, for crying out loud? What is all that about, by the way? I'm still mad about that. It just shows how bad we are. I don't know what we're going to do in the draft. I don't know what we're going to do this particular offseason. All I know is I want better players around Trey. If we keep DJ around DJ, it just has to happen. It just has to happen. We got 2 players on our team that score 20 points a game. Plus, we need a third. Boston won 64 games with 3 players averaging 20 points a game. Latvian Dirt, Brown, and Tatum. Then you had White scoring his 15 points a game. And you just keep going from there. You got this player scoring 9, this scoring 8, 7, 9, 8. And then all of them are doing their jobs. Like I said, here's your rebound. Here's your guy who's your perimeter defender. Here's a guy who gets the steals. Here's a guy who hits all the clutch threes. You got all these other teams that have players, and the Hawks have a couple of players, and that ain't enough. JJ, of course, as well. We got 3. And again, like I said, you got Bogey coming off the bench. But that ain't enough. We don't have the bench. We don't have the starting lineup. Our record shows that. Our record proved it. Record proved it. So if we're not going to get better defensive players, we need to get more offensive players. If we get more defensive players, we'll be straight. We'll be straight because we can score. But like I said, we got to do one or the other. We can't keep doing it like this. We can't. Because we're not going to win. Don't y'all want to win? Boston went out and got the Latvian Dirt. They won 64 games this season. In the playoffs again. You see what I'm saying? The Knicks went out and did what they did over the last 2 years. Look where the Knicks are. The Knicks are trying to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They might make it. They went and got Josh Hart. They went and got DiVincenzo, whatever his name is. They went and got all these guys. They went and got OG. They went and got people. They said, we're not We can't stand pat. We gotta do more. We gotta get better. Hawks, nah, we're good. Let's put Trent out there. A couple minutes. He ain't gonna shoot the ball, but we'll be all right. Let's put Wes out there. He'll do a little. Garrison's gonna pick up his charge, and he's gonna hit his 2 threes, and then he'll be done for the rest of the night. That ain't enough. We didn't win, guys. We lost 21 games by 7 points or less. We lost about 4 or 5 games by 4 points or less. That's messed up. It's messed up. It's messed up. So again, it's not about blaming people. It's about pointing out the fact that we need better. Do you not want better? Because unless all of a sudden Clint is going to develop an actual jump shot and develop touch around the rim and never miss a bunny ever again in his life, and all of a sudden he becomes a 75% free throw shooter, and all of a sudden he becomes a 3-block-a-game guy, and all of a sudden he deters people from scoring in the paint. Sorry, Clint can't stay here another season. Sorry, he can't. Unless Hunter all of a sudden becomes second team all defense. He's a wing player that can't play no defense. That's crazy. We need better. Simple. We need more. We need more off our bench. We don't have a bench. Like, my God, we don't have... How can you be cool with 3 roster players scoring 7 points a game for the season? 3 roster spots. We needed 3 players averaging 7 points a game. That's 21 points off the bench by 3 players. That's what we needed, because that's what other teams were getting. That's what other teams were getting, not the Hawks, though. And we expected to beat teams like that. There's no way. You can't do that. And then when you have injuries, we have no depth. Oh, well, Chris, when we, O and JJ and Trey and Bay were out, we had like a 3-4 game winning streak. We were better without 4 players. No, we weren't. We weren't. Look how the season ended. We weren't. Did we win our playing game? No, we didn't. We weren't better missing all those players. We weren't better with all those players on the basis of what I just said. Defense wins championships. We don't have enough defensive play. And we couldn't score enough. We didn't have a bench that scored enough. So we couldn't rely on the bench. So if anybody in the starting lineup had a bad night, we were toast. Math is math. I want better. I want us to solidify positions that should have been handled by now. And I want us to win. I want us to know how to play some defense. Well, Chris, they're supposed to know how to play defense since high school. Well, maybe some don't. But even so, you still need to be taught fundamentals, basics, and a plan. What are we going to do if this happens? It's just like writing a program, if-then statement. If this happens, this needs to happen. And if you don't know what's supposed to happen, somebody's supposed to tell you. And we don't got nobody telling nobody nothing on this team. Because we still overhelp. Second chance points. Points in the paint. 3-point percentage given up. It ain't there. How can you look at tape and not have no adjustments at all? See, there's a coaching thing there. We don't have a defensive coach that has the capability of being a defensive coach. That's not Quinn Snyder's job. It's not. That's why you hire a staff. What's the staff doing? I've been asking that forever now with everybody. Can't ever get an answer. Because when I play basketball, I know where I'm supposed to be on the switch. I know when to switch and when not to switch. I know when to not let myself get held up, which I showed video of Hunter getting held up on that Boston series last year, playoffs. Oh, I can't get around my man, referee. Help me out. No. Move that man out the way. Fight through the screen. Hedge. Do something. Avoid the screen. I do it all the time. Why can't a professional basketball player do it? I'm not going to let you screen me if I don't want to be screened. Get out of here with that. I'm too big. I'm moving you out the way. I'm fighting through the screen. I'm staying with my man. Or, because I got teammates, hey, I got him. And if it happens to create a mismatch, guess what we do? We fix it. If they don't take advantage of a mismatch in time, we switch back. We won't even do that. We just let it go on. The madness. It's going to be an easy score. That's what the Hawks do. Other teams, no, we ain't about to let that happen. We're about to double. We're about to get the ball out that man's hand. We're about to switch back. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Whatever. But since we don't have no wing defenders, we can't do that. We just give up shots. So anyway, y'all, I got to get out of here. I wanted to do this real quick. I'll talk to y'all another time. Peace. Oh, make sure subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube page. You can follow on Instagram or Facebook, IMTN Worldwide Radio for Around the ATL, my sports show. Of course, Twitter, Intellect ATL. Definitely suggest you follow me there. I post a lot there. And I'll talk to you another time. Peace.